Hi, I'm Ellen McCauley, and I'm at Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York. We're talking about the best scientifically based plans to sustainable weight loss. So let's really talk about this Mediterranean diet. You know, they went to these countries where people were living till 102, 103, 105. Why are they so healthy? They didn't have heart attacks or type 2 diabetes or premature death. The basics of the Mediterranean diet are as follows: vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, potato, whole grains, breads, herbs, spices, fish, seafood, and extra virgin olive oil. All right, does that sound good to anybody? All right, the thing is, they're not talking about white bread. They're not talking about processed food. All of the things they're talking about here are natural foods from the whole wheat grains, whole wheat bread. Eat in moderation poultry, eggs, cheese, and yogurt. Eat only rarely red meat. Bob and I have red meat maybe once a month. Don't eat sugar-sweetened beverages, added sugar, processed meat. Let's yell out some. I'll start. Bologna.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Salami.
Pepperoni. Salami, pepperoni, sausages.
Lunch meat.
Any lunch meat. Spam. There is a lot of processed meat. All right? Avoid these unhealthy foods. Now this is where we get in trouble, Pray It Offers. Soda, candies, ice cream, table sugar, and many others. Somebody wanted a cup of coffee in our house, and they're like, oh, do you have sugar? We didn't even have any sugar. We don't have sugar in our house. And they go, what do you do when somebody wants sugar? I go, well, then we say, oh my gosh, we have no sugar, and maybe we should buy some. We don't have sugar. And then they say, what do you do for baking? I go, I weigh 371. I don't bake. I don't bake. Baking gets you into trouble. Also, refined grains, white bread, pasta made with refined wheat, trans fats, refined oils, processed meat, anything that's got a million things. My throat's killing me, so I was looking at the cough drops. Even cough drops have a list of ingredients this long in them. Isn't there an all-natural cough drop? Well, maybe I gotta find them. So I don't know where they are, but I'm gonna find them. Food, Ricola, that's all natural? All right, well, if anyone has an all-natural cough drop, you can give me them on your way out. Okay, foods to eat. All right, vegetables. So many people in this group eat no vegetables. And I mean none. None. You might sit there and go, Ellen, you're making that up. No, I'm not. They have no vegetables. None. Fruits. Now, I think fruits are delicious. Don't other people think fruits are good?
Yes.
All right, nuts and seeds. Here's the trouble with nuts and seeds. They're good. And it's like having chips. Oh, I think I'll have a few more, a few more, a few more. You got to eat them in moderation. Also, people think legumes means peanut butter, and they think you can like lather on the peanut butter because it's a legume. You got to be careful there too. Fish and seafood. We're not eating enough fish. I'm going to fish you guys to death this session. We're going to have more fish talks. You're going to say, if Ellen says fish one more time, I'm going to quit. But we're going to talk a lot about fish. What to drink. Water should be your go-to beverage on a Mediterranean diet. Now, if you tell me that you don't want to drink water, I have a new phrase. I'm going to Pope Francis you. I'm just going to slap you. All right? Because water is the best thing you can have. I'm not diminishing that. I'm just making a joke on it. All right, let's talk about a sample menu. Now look at, they're not talking honker amounts of food. For breakfast, you have a Greek yogurt with strawberries and oats. And you might say, what do you mean by oats? You buy some oats, you sprinkle them on. whole grain sandwich with vegetables. A lot of people don't get this concept either. They say, are you meaning you make a sandwich out of vegetables? Yes, that's what it means. You get sprouts, you get tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce. Imagine all the vegetables you can possibly get on there and have a beautiful, you know what it doesn't say there? Honker mayonnaise. I don't see honker mayonnaise. Also dinner, a tuna salad dressed in olive oil. Again, no honker mayonnaise. A piece of fruit for dessert. None of that is it's like so healthy, but none of it is like too much. The next day, oatmeal with raisins, leftover tuna salad from the night before, a salad with tomatoes, olives, and feta cheese. Now you might say it doesn't mention dressing. Most of the dressings on the Mediterranean diet are oil and vinegar. Wednesday, an omelet with veggies, tomatoes, and onions. Eggs have gotten such a bad rap, everyone. Eggs are not going to kill you. If eating eggs is your biggest problem, well, that's a good problem. And a piece of fruit. You know what bothers me the most about that new restaurant that's now next door to Holy Family? Here's what bothers me the most about it, is because people think going out to breakfast is a treat, even if they do it 3 or 4 times a week. I'm going to go to 7 o'clock, 6:45 Mass. Let's meet over at that new restaurant. The trouble with having a treat is you think you should have pancakes, sausage, bacon. If everyone was going to this new restaurant and having a fluffy omelet with veggies and maybe a slice of whole wheat toast, you wouldn't be getting into trouble. But what about the pancakes, the sausages, all those sorts of things? And also, how many times do you go out to eat a week? And we're going to track that a little bit more. I want people to write on your log, if you remember, write out. I want to know if you're out to eat versus in. Mediterranean lasagna. You might say, what is that? I will get you a recipe for that. And then there's more stuff here. Broiled salmon, brown rice, grilled lamb. I have never had grilled lamb, ever.
It's the only way I eat it.
Well, I've never had lamb, period. So, no.
You have to acquire a taste.
You got to acquire a taste for it. How many people here are like me and have never had any lamb of any type? Man, there's a lot of lamb eaters here. What's it taste like? Chicken?
No, it tastes like taste of the stone.
Is it gamey?
A gamey? I don't.
Soak it in milk.
I don't like the
Overnight,
smell of
takes the
it.
gaminess
I'll eat it on the grill.
All right.
That's it.
People say it's gamey, and some person said it smelled like wet socks. Tasted like wet
Smell
socks.
of it when you're cooking.
Yeah.
Like if you're cooking
I think I am going to try it though, because why not?
You're supposed
All
to
right.
eat it with mint jelly.
Mint jelly. I'm not going to eat it with mint jelly. All right, I'm going to drag everybody in from the lamb contemplation tonight. All right, look, this should make you happy because on Saturday you can have Mediterranean pizza. So we're going to talk about that recipe too. So there's some healthy snacks, a handful of nuts, not a jar, a piece of fruit, some baby carrots, some leftovers. And you can go out to a restaurant and choose fish or seafood as your main dish. You can ask them to fry your food in extra virgin olive oil. Do you see the word there is fry? Only eat whole grain bread with olive oil instead of butter. Very interesting. Here's a simple shopping list. It's so simple. Vegetables, fruits, berries, frozen veggies, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, condiments, sea salt, pepper, turmeric, cinnamon, fish. Now, if I ran into you in Price Chopper and you had the Mediterranean list of foods in your cart, you wouldn't need to run over into the other aisle to try to avoid me. It is the ice cream. It is the chips. And then you say, oh, they're for my grandkids. And I say, wait a minute, you have no children. Where did these grandkids come? People try to lie to me. I can't get it. All right. So I do think that unless in 2020, we try to have healthy eating. we need to really wrap our head around what that means. And I'm going to say something very interesting to you. I think that everyone should have a piece of pizza if they want it. Here's the thing. Should you have it every night?
No.
Should you have 3 or 4 pieces?
No.
Should you have it twice a week? I think you should have a bowl of ice cream if you want it. But should you have it every night? Here's the thing. Nothing is forbidden. Nothing. Nothing. But we need to make a decision what's important to us. The reason many of us said we hated ourselves was because you don't like the way you feel, like your pants are a little harder to zip up, perhaps. I don't know if anyone else had that problem this week. Or you feel like, oh, you know, I really wanted to do better. But I say there's too much fat shaming in this world. We have the most obese country in the world, yet at the same time, we have the most fat shaming. We have the most people judging you by your weight. It doesn't make sense to me. We need to wrap our head around being healthy, healthy, healthy. I don't think we should be obsessed with our weight. I don't. I think we should be obsessed with living a life that when we die, which who knows when that's going to be, Jesus will say, well done, good and faithful servant. He's not going to say, you know, Ellen, you got down to 100 and blah, blah, and now you weigh blah, blah. He's not going to say that. I know that for a fact. He is looking at the big picture, and he knows we try so hard. You know, I went to confession over Advent, and I went downtown to the cathedral, and did I tell you this story already? I was all ready. I was like ready. And I went in there, bless me, Father, I am such a sinner. I'm this, I'm that. I do read the Bible every day and say the rosary and go to Mass all the time. I never miss a holy day. But I'm such a sinner. I'm so bad. He's like, wait a minute. He goes, you know how far ahead of the game you are? I go, but wait a minute, I want to tell you how bad I am. And he's like, God loves you so much. And the whole confession was about how much God loved me. And my penance, and I don't think this is a sin to say it, is to love myself as much as God loves me. How is that even possible? How is that even possible to love ourselves as much as God loves us? Let's stop beating ourselves up in 2020. Start loving ourselves, and let's just do the best we can. So what does healthy eating mean? I don't think we're idiots here. I think we kind of know the answer to that question. When we were on our food frenzy over the holidays, no one needed to tap us on the shoulder and say, I think you should have stopped at cookie number 11. I think we kind of knew. I put some Mediterranean recipes in here. This sounds so good to me. Mediterranean spinach and fig salad. It's easy. Spinach, chickpeas, walnuts, Turkish figs, tomatoes, cucumber vinaigrette. Looks great. Mediterranean stuffed chicken breast. You take some bell pepper and feta cheese. To me, feta cheese on anything is good. Olives, basil, and some chicken breast. I also have that Mediterranean pizza recipe here on whole wheat crust. A serving size is 1 slice. 189 calories. That's not bad. Even if you have 2 slices for a meal, that's not bad again. You got to watch the sodium, though, because you're looking at maybe 800 grams of sodium for 2, what's everyone talking about? What's the question? Is there a question on the Mediterranean pizza? Or are you saying how good it looks and how you want to make it? And then it gives you the whole recipe. The bottom line on that Mediterranean pizza is you can buy a whole grain crust, which looks a lot easier than all of this. Doesn't it? All right, so take a look at that. I'm going to stop right there, Bob. Shannon,